everybody joining live or watching the replay. Thank you so much for being here. We had a lively conversation before we started the stream, so
Well, let's hope that keeps going lively.
yes, but we're trying not to go back to that topic. So
No.
I have the lovely Nancy here today to join me. And honestly, if you know me, you know me. I use these live streams to just have people on my channel and have a chance to just talk to them. And, you know, today's excuse is that I kind of want to go through my whole collection slowly, people by by people, person by person, whatever. Um, and just check if I not necessarily if I want to keep a deck, but just see how I feel, because I have decks that I have them on my shelf for years now. I don't touch them, and sometimes it's okay because I'm like, okay, this is a specific, like deck. I wanted it for Supernatural. I wanted it just for the fandom. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I don't like the deck. Everybody knows that, but there are some other decks that I'm like, should I keep it? Should I not? So we can all share our experience. And now Nancy has a few decks as well, so she can ask for advice as well. And I'm gonna shut up and let you say a few words if you want.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on, Orsi. It took you long enough.
I know.
I mean, you saved the best till latest.
Obviously.
But thank you for having me, and this will be fun.
Yeah, I was so happy that when you said you can do it, because I was just thinking about having this live today, but I asked you only a couple of days ago, so I was like, oh, you have a life, you probably won't be. I won't have actual time to do this.
I don't have a life, so.
I unfortunately, I think this is gonna be my last live for this year, probably, because I have to start really preparing for exams, and I will have exams in the first week of January. So I'm gonna be dead in December.
You'll
probably.
be great. You'll do a great job.
Everybody think that, but currently I'm not that self-confident.
Well, you're so smart. So
this is why I'm doing this stream. Obviously, I just want to hear good things about myself. But okay, we have a few people. We have Donna. I want to have you on one of these streams as well, if you're up for it. So, and obviously we have same. Like I'm just gonna ask the people that I love. So Sarah as well. Because why not? So we have some company. We have decks. Do you want to start with yours? Because I have a bunch.
Well, I can do one, then you can do one. We'll kind of go back and forth because you have more than me. So eventually,
for sure,
we'll run out.
But I'm more curious about your decks than mine. So.
I'm curious too. So this one is the Yolanda Witch Tarot. It's a mass market. I got it pretty recently. It's from, who's it from? F. Who is F? I don't know. That's what it says on the thing. F.
Yeah.
So not one of your regular publishers. Oh, there it is. Findhorn Press.
Haven't even heard.
This is the book. The book is really big, and the book is kind of interesting. So it's probably, yeah, it's interesting. The
is that a diplomatic way of saying something?
It's got a lot of stuff in it, a lot of unusual stuff, information. But some of it gets a little woo-woo, for me.
Yeah, and that's not for you. Yeah.
But anyway, here's the backs of the cards. Oh. The art in these cards is really cool, I think. I'll keep trying to center it and get it close without it shining, because it's kind of a little shiny.
Do you have a walkthrough of it?
Pardon?
Do you have a walkthrough?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay. I got it pretty recently, and I was in the process of moving. And yeah. But it's kind of fun art. Again, I'll get it.
It's different for sure.
Yeah. And it different interpretations and keywords on the bottom. Like there's the 3 of Cups, and the keyword they use is gentleness.
Gentleness.
Yeah, but oh, I love the death card. So I love the art, but the cardstock sucks.
Ah.
So and I, you hear people's reviews and they say, oh, it's good cardstock, and you're like, okay, good, but it's just really cardboardy and um, kind of thin, and I even dropped a droplet of water on it and just bubbled up. I
Oh,
think it dried out, but
it's not the same. Yeah.
it's not the same. So anyway,
Mm.
so I'm kind of like, I like the art. The other thing is these big borders.
I mean,
Um,
it screams trim me for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
I would
and
trim the heck out of this deck, even though you lose the
you
background,
lose the
the back.
titles and the keywords. So, and I can lose the keywords, but anyway, it's just real pretty art.
The start.
But
Oh, I like that one.
the book, and tell me if I'm going into this too much, or she. But the book has, let's see.
Donna asked who publishes it because it's some
Freehorn Findhorn Press.
Feinhorn Press.
But the book has it'll have the keywords, it has the planet, the astrological sign, the colors, the significance, the relationship, and that's when it comes up related to a relationship, it means that you most likely experience having unresolved karmic debt. This is the moon card.
Wow.
And then the reversed, then the reversed, and then practice, which is to take one day off work or school, dedicate this day to your own needs, lie in bed all day with a good book. I like that part.
I would like to do that. Just take a day off.
It's got this thing called herstory instead of history.
Yeah.
And the way they explain it in the front is that history is mainly written by men, but the sort of the more nature-oriented, esoteric stuff is more female.
Female, yeah.
And so the her story is this is about the Sumerian god of the moon who plays a role in Babylonian mythology. So it's kind of the history of
female gods
and this about the moon goddesses and the moon calendar, and then sacred blood for women, and the art of magic goes into the Gregorian calendar and natural time calendar and ebb and flow and the sacred moon cycle, and then medicine for the soul and another to do. And
that's
then
a lot.
And then imagination goes into sort of a story to do with the moon. So it's
that's an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool guidebook. It might be worth keeping just for the guidebook, but the cardstock and the borders are what blew it for me. So that's why
I understand. Using cards is a tactile experience. If you don't like what's in your hand, you're not going to use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, and I don't shuffle, so the thickness of it isn't the issue for me. It's that I do want to feel something rose petally or linen-y or something that feels good. That's the feel I get from the cards. I don't get the shuffle because I can't do that. So
yeah. But Donna is right there. I find it interesting as well that sometimes the production goes into what's on the outside.
Right. And what we're using every day is the cards, and we usually this goes on a shelf. Well, anyway, nobody has this deck.
I haven't even heard about it, so it's not surprising because I haven't been like keeping really track with new releases for a reason, because I don't want to spend money. So
it might have been on the Hermit's Cave. He does a through of new decks with the Oneness Emporium or something, and so this was among those, I think. So.
I mean, I see sometimes when I watch a video, and so I mostly just watch a certain type of pick a cards or whatever, because those are good pick-me-ups. if I'm in a bad mood, I just watch a pick a card reading, because all of the options are like, yes, you will have something like good coming out. There's no option for nothing good is gonna come out. So it's a good thing too, if you're not like.
But of course, you're never in a bad mood. You're always
No, nobody asked me during the past show like what's wrong, and I just said that nothing. I was just like thinking, and I got very depressed. And they were, and are you angry too? And I was like, no, not angry.
No, I'm
Just
thinking,
that,
thinking can be painful. I know.
I
As
think I have,
Aquarians, because we're
yeah, I
both
mean,
Aquarius.
yeah, plus I think I have the seasonal depression on top of everything as well, because I hate not being in the summer. So even though we're supposed to have snow on Friday, we will see. It was raining today and it was really cold and dark, and I just like, no. I don't think-
We're supposed to have like 50-mile-per-hour winds today, so I'm kind of okay. We do have
me,
trees around us, so
yeah, me and my friends are gonna go to Vienna. I don't ever know how to say that in other languages, because it's really completely different in Hungarian.
yeah.
And it's supposed to be really, really windy. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna walk around all day
Well,
in the city.
I know, it's such a great walking city too, but it's also great to sit in the cafes and eat their pastries and drink wine. So
I mean,
just
we already have the drink wine part for the day. Like in the afternoon before we come home, we're definitely gonna hit some mulled wine. So
But what
that's gonna.
I really enjoyed the Lippinser stallions there.
Mhm.
The white horses, trained horses that they have.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
You can go to a show in an arena to watch the horses. Like
Mm,
they're amazing. They're amazing. Look it up
I
online.
will. I will. Okay, so my first one is, I don't think I will get rid of it, but it's because I even made a pouch, because why not? It's the Hidden Realm. Uh, I love this. I love the idea of this deck. Rather, I will say that. It kind of reminds me of Aragon. This guy. This is my Fey deck. I really wanted to like. I can't do it on shiny because a very very shiny cardstock. But honestly, it's the good type of Llewellyn. Llewellyn, is it Llewellyn? I never know. I just
Yeah, it's
Is it?
Llewellyn, and I
Okay.
can't
I
stand
thought, yeah, I
Llewellyn
was like, no,
cardstock.
it's not called that.
Yeah, I
I
had that deck and gave it away because of the cardstock. I just can't do
I
Llewellyn.
used to hate it when I first bought a few decks, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And then I started shuffling, and it shuffles beautifully, and I was like, "Okay, I'm sold."
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this. The art style. I love the colors. I love the earthiness of the earth, like the pentacles and even the wands as well. But I'm not doing a lot of Fae anything. So I'm not getting rid of it because it has a dedicated space in my collection, and I love these Three of Wands.
And see, I got this deck when I was
I-
first learning tarot, and the beautiful art, but it's
It's
all
not.
faces, and just all faces. And I just like, I'm sorry, what
Yeah,
does that mean? So for learning tarot, it was not good. I probably would enjoy it better now if they do better cardstock, but it's beautiful art.
yeah. I mean, that's what I was hesitant at first, because I'm like, all faces. What am I supposed to see? There's nothing in there, just
Right.
faces. There's not a scene.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just even if it's all faces, like the Eight of Wands with an archer, like the fire, especially with the fiery red
Mhm.
hair, which I used to have this color. I used to have this color.
Mhm.
It's my Kira Knightley. Why am I so unsure about names right now? Whatever. Kira Knightley. I'm gonna be crazy today with names, but yeah. So question is, if you have this deck, how the hell do you connect with it? What do you do? I mean, is there anything special that you can do, because it's all people? And I love those decks more where there are no people, like the Majestic Earth, which is just like mostly just landscape. I'm like instant connection, full of people. I'm like, yay! What am I supposed to do with it?
But
So
I like to see people doing things, not just sort of straight on
yeah,
portraits. But is she the one who did Bad Sisters, Witch Sisters?
I wanted to buy that. I was really
Yeah.
excited, but in the end, I didn't. I probably will at some point, but until I can find a way to really utilize the way that this deck works, I don't see the point.
Because I think Witch Sisters is also a lot of face close
Yeah,
up stuff going on. And I was very tempted because the art is super cool, but it can go well in cardstock. So yeah.
But I especially like that it's a tad bit smaller than regular decks. So, I have tiny hands, so I have a better chance of actually holding a deck from them.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, please do share. Why is it your favorite, and how do you? I don't even know. How do you connect with it? It's not a good question because it's a personal thing. But if there is a specific, I don't know, spread you like to use with it. Yeah, no, I know. It just works for some people. And I'm not saying I don't feel the connection. It's just that I never find myself just reaching for the deck and be like, okay, I'm just gonna do a reading and it's gonna like speak to me as clearly as, for example, the Light Seers.
Well, and there are certain decks I have that I don't read with much, but I like the art so much. But I also perhaps like the cardstock. But and then others that I really want them to be readable. But it's funny how we kind of circle around, and like that deck would work for me better now because I know how to read better. But for an early reader, it doesn't. And do you ever, Orsi, circle around to decks that you had on the shelf for a couple of years and you pull it out and say, "Oh, that's kind of cool," I think, and you start to go with it?
It's different. Yeah. I mean, I don't read for that long, so like some people have like 20 plus years experience, and I have like 4 years or something. But there are decks that I'm like, I was very excited at the beginning, and I was like, oh, it's working. But now I'm like, oh man, it's actually working. So,
I don't get to read for other people hardly ever. I started learning about the same time as you, and with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
So when I think about if I'm going to read for a friend, which doesn't happen often, but if I am, what deck would I use to read with? And I always kind of come back closer to traditional RWS because I want to be able to explain with the picture, like see how they're doing this and this and this, where some of my favorite decks are much more abstract.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to read for someone with that, I can't use that as a point of reference for them because they won't know what the hell that is. Does anyone feel that
I'm
deck you might love, you would never read for someone else with?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because I probably will read for someone. I don't know if you have the time, but because I don't read for other people's now a lot. Sometimes I do, but I have the same thought process as well. There are out of like really cool, really creepy, or just weird decks that I would love, because it would be such an amazing reading. But I don't want to like traumatize the person who's asking for a reading because they're like, why is it good if it's like, like, I don't know, blood is everywhere. And I'm like, okay, the Light Seers is one deck that I know that I can explain through, that look at this scene, so I go back to the trusted and tried decks for that for myself.
Some people are visual, and it helps them a lot to see
most people
what's
I think
going
it helps,
on. And whereas there are times when you don't want the cards to influence them because it looks
true.
violent or whatever. I don't know. I have to get more experience as a reader to be able to tell you, but I'd be curious if people watching have any experience of choosing a deck to read for someone else, how you do that. But
yeah, I mean, this was exactly what I was thinking about last night. Like I was going through in my head, like which deck I would use currently. And then I was like, better stick with the Light Series because that's an easily digestible deck even for people who have no idea what tarot is all about.
Right.
Because there are some Death and Ten of Swords cards out there that I love the True Black, but I don't want to pull a card which has swords and a dead bunny on it for someone who has no idea what the Ten of Swords is. It's a difficult card, but I don't think it helps if there's a bunny, like
or a dead animal. Poor little animal. dead.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that for like, because that can be traumatic for someone who really likes bunnies. Like, here's a dead bunny. So
Yeah. One
I
of
don't
my
want to
things
do
is
that.
I hate anatomical hearts and decks. So that's
Yeah,
me. That
the
kind of
true
weirds me
black I
out.
think have one as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So you want another deck from me?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
just checking the why you take it out of the box. Words. I will check the comments.
Here's the box. While you check comments.
Ooh, you Jupiter. Ah, okay. Late winter. Okay. I will, maybe I will ask. We did a vampire stream with Sarah. Maybe we need to do a fate as well. And hi, Netesti. Oh, you can just talk about the deck.
Oh, okay. This is the Jupiter Power deck,
I
and
haven't. I don't think I've seen this one either.
also like a Mars Power deck. Let's see, it's upside down here. SixSadGirls.com from Charlie Quintero is the creator, and I'm pretty sure they creator, and it's
Like
a
the
cool
the
deck.
green.
Yeah, yeah, and it's got bright green on the sides,
Ooh,
and green on the backs. The artwork is interesting. Little book that is mainly poems, which is interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a little bit out there kind of deck. I like it on some level, but it's like there's the Wheel of Fortune. And I like that because a dandelion, sort of gone to seed, you blow on it and make a wish.
No, I
of
make a
thing.
wish. Yeah.
So the Wheel of Fortune is, wishing for what's the future
Yeah.
kind of thing. But that's the kind of thing you have to do with it. That's the Lovers, which is a couple of flowers, and the Four of Pentacles.
I like the green. I don't like the art.
Yeah, it's intriguing to me, but this is the Hermit. But it's very minimalistic in a way, and you really have to work to say, okay, so how is that representing what I think of when I think of the High Priestess?
Yeah.
So, it was intriguing to begin with. I like decks that are different, that aren't straight RWS or whatever, but, and some of the art is nice.
Oh, yeah. But because it's a more of a traditional image.
Yeah, yeah. And I know the Nine of Wands is a mermaid. Why not cups? I don't know. So it's, it's just one of those decks that makes you really have to work to get anything from the image that's going to help you read. You know what I mean? So it's a nice deck. It's an indie deck. It's got cool art. It's what makes me a cool tarot person, is decks like this. I'm not cool. But
you have one of the coolest decks that I've ever seen. So
yeah, I mean, it's and her Mars Power Tarot, I think it is more all reds and even further out art than this. So anyway, it's probably one that long term I won't keep, but it is an indie deck. I think a probably limited run deck. I don't think it's numbered. But I always get a little hesitant to pass on an indie that maybe
because it's maybe if you really like it a few years later and it's not as easy to get it back,
or maybe I can make more money off of it a year from
now. Obviously that too. I mean, you have to think about those things, obviously. Yeah.
Oh, you love the Jupiter. Cool.
Yeah
I agree that the intuitive decks, one of my favorite decks is Remembering the Sweet Fool. Have you seen that one?
I think so.
Yeah. And it's just a mood deck. Each card has a mood, and I love it because it gives me a lot. I look at it and it's like, okay, I'm now in the mood of that card. But it doesn't have people. It doesn't, and usually the things in it relate to the card. Again, like this deck, sort of simple. You have to kind of find it, but it's so moody that I just pick it up when I look at the card immediately. So yeah, intuitive decks are fine. This one, I'm just not sure it's pretty enough for me, I guess.
I mean, you have to find a connection. That's what,
Yeah.
like it's, I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because as we grow up, we develop a taste in art. And I think it matters because one of the decks that also, again, I don't think I will get rid of it is the joie de vivre, which I like saying
Mhm.
that, like, I don't know why. It's in my head, it sounds like the French Revolution, joie de vivre. I don't know why.
It
I have
is the French
issues.
Revolution.
Like, I don't know. It's apps. I just love that there are so many details, and it has that storybook,
Mhm.
children's book vibe. And look at that face. It's a five of course. You can feel the meaning of the card. So I
Yeah.
think it's a good. That I obviously trimmed it because I have issues and I trim everything. Uh, and
Well,
I don't know why I'm not using it.
I find
Because
it a little hard to see. Now that I wear glasses, some of the images are a little
oh
busy.
yeah,
Not that one so much, but yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty, it's colorful, it's sweet. Yeah, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, and this is also a deck that I need to put somewhere closer. Like one of the reason why I'm doing these live streams is I want to select the decks that I really want to work with and put them somewhere in the beginning part of the shelf because I don't know, I'm like a goldfish. I use what I see. So if it's at the back row, I'm never gonna remember using
I'm
it. So
sorry, a goldfish uses what it sees.
I
With
think the
that one.
goldfish goes around and is like, oh, there's some food, I'm gonna eat it, and then swims around
Okay.
and forgets about it. Even though I know that it's not even true that goldfishes are only hold memory for a few seconds. It's not. I that was the big thing that everybody always said that there was that experiment where like they put some glass in the water. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No.
It was something that it was shown in school. If you look it up, it's a goldfish experiment. I think it's a really cruel one. I hate when they do that to animals because it just proves that goldfishes are not stupid because they put like a glass in the middle of the tank. So every time the goldfish tried to go for the food, they couldn't because there was that invisible
Um,
barrier. And after
okay.
a while, even if the barrier wasn't there, they didn't go because they remembered that
And then they
they're
died.
not. And they stopped to that. And I'm like, yeah, you proved that goldfishes are like learning for like experience. So yeah,
Well,
you killed the goldfish.
but
Congratulations. I hate
we
people.
didn't see that in school because you realize it's been a few years since I've been in school.
I mean, same, and it was not shown in school. I think it became a thing on the internet after a while when I was in high school or something. So,
Okay.
but yeah, justice for the goldfishes because I hate. That's why I hate the Schrodinger's cat
Uh-huh.
box thing. Like, why do you have to put a cat in the box? Like, fuck you. Like, I
My
don't
cat,
care.
my
I
cat
hate
climbs
them.
into boxes, but
Exactly. Put yourself in the fucking box and let's see if you survive. So yeah, I think it's a really cool deck. I bought this one back then when I was really trying to develop a theme around my collection. It was a great excuse to get more decks. And this was my Christmas wintry type of deck that was supposed to be because for that reason that it's like a storybook kind of feel. But I can't remember when I'm like, why am I not using this one? So yeah, this is something that will go somewhere
I think
closer.
we have to not pressure ourselves to say, why aren't you reading
I'm
enough?
not
Why aren't you
really,
reading books? Why aren't you reading with this deck? It's like, do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm not pressuring myself in a way that I should because I have so many decks. It's more like I don't just wanna go with all the time the five same decks. Like no hate, I absolutely love the Oakish and Torn. It's
Mhm.
my weekly one of my weekly cards. I have all the cups for this week. Yay, emotions! But I need to remember that I have decks like this that I want to use. So
Well, why don't you pick one day a week when you use a deck you haven't been using, or one day a month or something, and go with it.
because that would require consistency, and that's just not me.
I could
I
call you
can't.
each time. Yeah.
I mean,
Orsi per day.
I'm so consistent with doing weekly readings for I don't even remember how many weeks now. That I'm very 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 proud of myself. But
We
yeah,
are too. Okay,
probably I have to do that.
so my next one, I think, Orsi, is one I first saw on your channel, and
Ooh,
it's The Exile.
yes. Ha, ha,
Yes.
ha.
The boxed, I guess,
Oh, you
smaller.
have the thin version. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
the big size one.
Yeah, I have the small one, and
It's the exile, so because there's
it's
two.
the
Which one is it
returning to
the
myself.
darker one?
I think so. Well, you tell me.
I can't remember the name right.
There's like a sort of nighttime one and daytime one
Yeah, I forgot.
kind of thing. There's the
Where is it?
Emperor.
Mine is somewhere hidden in the
That looks pretty
shop.
dark
So
to me.
yeah. It's the
Yeah. But what, and I love the backs. The backs are really pretty. And the art is cool. It's a little bit anime for me, or manga,
Are you
or
sure?
one of those.
Are you
Yes,
sure it was
Donna.
theoretical? I meant
Yeah, I
not.
think it was.
I fully believe someone put a cat in a box.
I think it was a concept of if you put a cat in a box, etc.
I mean, officially, that's the like tale everybody tells, but
Don't hate Schrodinger. Don't hate Schrodinger. We should have a bumper sticker for our cars.
Yeah.
But I have trouble reading this. I did get the small size. I like it for my hands, the size, but I have trouble making that out. What's going on in here. So, I think I'll
was
get
it
rid of it.
was it the Emperor or what was it, King of Wands?
That one was that one was the King of Wands. Yeah.
Oh, King of Wands, because there's a heart, I think, right?
Yeah, it's not so much whether there's enough imagery or stuff in it. It's just making out what's going on in there with my less than great eyes is a little tricky. I'm going to get used to this camera any day now.
Oh yeah, this is that's an interesting card. That was one of my favorite, I think.
And that. Okay, come on, Nancy, find the camera.
I think this is a good Page of Swords.
Yeah, but again, to see it very well is not easy. But I like it. Theoretically, I think it's a cool deck, and it's good cardstock quality, and it's fun packaging.
Silent edition, yes, that was the one. Silent edition. Thank you.
Okay.
I was trying to think what was the two versions, but yeah, silent was.
Yeah. But
and silent.
Eventually, we'll get rid of this probably just because I really can't even flip through it just to enjoy the art and see anything much. So there's another reason that we, you can't make out decks as easily as you could on camera when you watched a review, because they're clearer on the camera.
Yeah, they're big. You can make it as big as as your TV if you want to.
Even the lighting, is often better. And then you find it's a little more faded than you thought it was, or whatever. So that's another one.
And I'm just leaving the comment until you read it.
Yeah.
Because compliments needs to go around. And okay, Donna is sure that the cat was not a real cat, because Donna is not as cynical as I am. It seems like
my real cat is sitting on the table right back there.
Oh.
If I turn this around, yes, you'd see her, wouldn't you?
Oh.
If I don't drop
I'm always happy to see a cat. So
can you see her?
Just a part of it, like the back.
Yes, Jade, come here, baby. Hi.
Oh, kitty. No, it's like I don't want to be famous. Go away.
Sure, she does. She's a cat.
Oh, the crow tarot is blurry. I didn't know. But yeah, it's really hard, because if you watch a walkthrough, then everything is really easy to like the details are easily viewable. So okay, like I don't think I want to hear why we hate Schrödinger. I'm just happy to hate him for theoretically killing the cat or not.
Yeah, I try to divide people off from their work. Everybody's probably a creep, but like artists,
yeah, like Neil Gaiman and everybody turns out to be an asshole, and I'm like, can I even read something? Like, if someone tells me that Terry Pratchett was an asshole, I'm just gonna like quit.
Terry Pratchett was not an asshole.
I hope
No.
not. I hope we'll never learn anything about him because I cannot handle it.
Well, one of the nice things about artists, and I know we were talking about physics before with Schrodinger, but one of the nice things about artists is that if you like their work, you're interpreting it. You know what I mean? You put your own lens on what they've done. So it's really yours in a way. And it doesn't necessarily come with all the baggage that personality has. It's something that they do well, and they could do that art well, and you respond to it. So you don't have to analyze their lives.
I mean, you don't have to. And I find it's kind of could be look at it as I'm being high. What's the word?
Critical?
Not critical. The word with the H. I'm blanking on words. That's today's live stream. I'm getting old and I forget.
But I think if we do that kind of thing, then we are not going to have any more heroes.
What I meant to say is that, and maybe if I give you the example, you will. Yeah, hypercritical, is it?
Hypothetical? Hypocritical.
No, hypercritical. No, neither sounds the one. But let me give you the example and then you will know what I mean. So, for example, option A for me is I don't care about what J.K. Rowling did in a way that I was able to sever Harry Potter from her. So even if she's an asshole, and I do think she's an asshole, Harry Potter is just, it lives on its own for me. And if I have a connection and I'm not giving that to other people, it's not ruining for me the books and the stories and the experiences with the kids in the library, especially, even though she's an asshole. But for example, I'm not able to watch anything that Tom Cruise does in a movie because I know he's such an asshole to his family members because of Scientology. So it's
with
hypocrite.
Rowling,
that's the one. Hypocritical. That's the one I was looking like a happy hypocrite.
With Rowling, it's like
thank you.
If she doesn't put that bad part of her in the book, if it's not like a racist book or
the book is not. But Tom Cruise is not playing a Scientologist in any of the movies, so I can't say that. But every time I see his face, and I'm like.
Yeah, but it's like with Atlas Shrugged with Ayn Rand, she was weird, and so and her books were, but there are other people. It's like their books aren't. So
hypocritical. Whatever. So weird decks. Another deck that I really love, and I'm also I'm not using it because I have too many decks. Is the Shadowland, and I actually
don't get rid of that.
No, I'm not going to. It's again, I love the cardstock. It's on the thicker, like more rigid side of things, but I don't know. It's just it's
a little texture to it. Yeah,
and I love the weirdness of it. I think it's the cute weirdness, and I know that I've seen back then videos where people were like, "Oh, it's so freaky," and I don't want to use it. I'm like, "This freaky? Why? Look at the cat." Oh. It's tiny, weird-faced cat. But I don't know. I love the moon. And, it's a clever one. So the meanings are all there.
And it shows the meanings cleverly, as you said.
I think so.
It's not just cutesy, cartoony.
This is the good Two of Pentacles. It shows that you need to balance, because the balance aspect is so often neglected in this card. And this is like a mummy is resting on like a pentacles. It is fun.
Balancing between life and death.
A lot of people like to use it as for inner child. I don't do inner child. I think I don't need that because my issues are coming from the grown-up version, not the inner, not the child. I have a good relationship with my inner child because I'm a child. So, but yeah.
No, I just like the deck because it's weird.
Yeah. I think, my theory on why, and I often think about this as well, because why not? what went wrong with JK? I think she originally, if you read what she was posting originally, the first like article, kind of like essay, I don't even know what that was. I think it was coming from a trauma experience, because I can't remember if it was her or her daughter that got attacked in a bathroom. That was the main situation for her. And if you, and I'm just really assuming things because I don't know her, but if you're only hearing about trans people that, they are just people who are pretending to be women, they are men who pretend to be women because they want to use that and attack women, and you don't hear anything else, you're not exposed to actual trans people and what their experience is, you're going to believe that that's the truth because that's all you hear. And you can say that, oh, you have to know, you don't know anything better, you don't know until you are exposed to something.
Well,
Based on
it's
my
like,
experience. But I think her original post wasn't meant to be like really hating on certain people. But then when she was criticized, instead of being like, oh, okay, I didn't mean to say that, I meant to say this, she was just like,
double down
go
on
away,
it. Yeah.
and then went into a corner where she was welcomed, and she felt she was protected and understood. And then like the rift between the two sides now is just too big, and I
But
don't think she can ever go back on her words because she really publicly stated stupid let's just be honest, stupid things now.
but we're all people,
Yeah.
and that when I hear
I
people, for
know.
example, say I'm not racist, it's like, of course you are. We all
Everybody is
we all have
on.
preconceptions about anyone who's
Obviously.
different than us, and
Yeah.
some of us are taught things differently than others. Some can have preconceptions and sort of a psychological little quick reaction to something and then say, well, that's silly, why are you reacting that way because the person's a different color or this or that. But you don't act on it. You don't structure a society that is
After a while, yeah, you
racially,
have to do that. Yeah.
yeah.
And if you're being criticized by multiple people, and I know I'm sure that when you put something out and you expect people to understand you and you get like a lot of backlash for it, you're gonna feel shitty because you're a human being. But this is where you have to be like, okay, I feel shitty, it's really, like it's shame, it's but instead of going like, no, you're all stupid, you're not valid, you're not existing, I'm gonna go here and be like la 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 la, this is where you have to take responsibility for your action. But I
Well,
think originally she didn't mean to go down that road. She did, but I don't know. I still have hopes that by maybe on her deathbed, she's gonna realize that she was stupid.
well, to me, if you're that sort of, you find people are against what you think about something,
Mm.
I'd start to learn more about it. You know what I mean? Like you said, if she doesn't know any trans people, it's, well,
Yeah,
find one.
like I didn't know either,
Broaden
but
your horizons.
I mean, this is the wonderful world of YouTube where you can just find actual trans people. With like, there is Jamie. I can't remember his last name, but he's English. I learned a lot through his experience and what he talked about on his channel because
Mhm.
I had no idea. I like, this is not something that I can relate to. I never knew how it feels to not feel like I'm a woman or I'm not okay.
Right.
I had issues with my body, so like I do, and I still like have issues. But that fundamental feeling that something is really wrong with you,
Mhm.
I had in other area of my life. Because why not? But and you have to be like open to admit that you don't know, and
Exactly.
I know I'm gonna say stupid things still, and maybe what we're talking about now is gonna come across as that I'm like I'm an idiot because why am I still liking Harry Potter? But I don't believe in completely cutting out everything that gives you joy because
Yeah.
it's not gonna.
There's few enough things in life to give you joy.
Plus,
A select set of things that give you
yeah,
joy. Don't
and
cut yourself off.
and I do still think that the books are wonderful, and it's gonna achieve what she doesn't want. kids are gonna grow up being more empathetic toward each other and being more understanding towards trans people. So I'm like, isn't that the perfect like getting
Yeah,
back at her,
right, exactly.
using her own way like work to teach love to children?
Well, and she's probably that way with certain things, you know, different genders, different religions, whatever. But that one thing, she doesn't understand or get. So anyway, that was a diversion. Let's going back to the devil.
Yeah. Speaking of the devil, yeah, we were talking about, you know, we were talking about, I don't even know how we ended up talking about J.K. Rowling. But yeah.
No, Julie, it was a diversion. So, okay, my next deck.
Okay, just a quick side note. I do think that if we don't talk about things that are, you know, like maybe touchy subjects, then we're doing a disservice to society, because if we don't have conversations about harder topics, then what are we even doing?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which,
oh, like look at Bosch.
Talking about not a hard subject. I love Bosch's art. And this book is like totally, I got it for the art.
If I think about Bosch, I think about Regina.
About what?
Regina. Do you know Regina from Regina's Wire? And I don't even know what's her channel name right now.
No.
Oh, you have to. I will send you her channel, because she has some Bosch miniature sculptures as well, or something. So.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the nice cardstock. The back is the Garden of Earthly Delights, which is probably one of his more famous.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I know as well.
But the thing about this deck is that he has 6 suits, and I don't even know if he has majors. I think he has 6 suits. And they're birds and books and so forth. Oh, that he does have majors. But you know, it's not tarot. So
no, it's not. Gosh, no, it's not.
I look at the art because it's great art and it's decent cardstock, and so you know, I do have decks like that I just love the art, and I love to flip through them.
Oh hell yeah, that's my sin.
But this one, you know, I'm sort of like, I can never use it. I guess I could use it as an oracle, but who wants those kinds of messages from an oracle? They're just so odd.
Illumination. Yeah, but there are keywords on it, so you definitely could use it as an oracle.
Yeah, but there's some really odd stuff in Bosch, and so I don't know. Does anyone have this deck? Anyone use it for anything?
The Bosch reference. I think so. I would use it as because I think that it's perfectly weird for getting a closing message. Like an extra confirmation or an extra message that I missed during the reading, I would pull a card from this deck, because this would be like, okay.
Yeah, and see, I don't use oracles much, so to use it as an oracle, I'm like, well, maybe. But I just go through it for the art now and then, and as far as keeping it long term, maybe not. So.
Yeah, I mean, my next one is only because, you know, I just grabbed the ones that I actually had the time to make pouches for, and now, you know, because I know what's in them, that's why I'm like thinking that, because it's my own deck, so obviously I'm not gonna get rid of my own deck.
No, it's a collector's item.
I mean, what was the point of making it if I'm getting rid of like this? This is my Galaxified RWS. So this is the part where you can just, if you want to, like, support my channel with the devil.
So why do you have this deck among decks you are on the borderline about keeping? What?
It's not even, you know, like borderline keeping. It's just I should use it more.
Okay.
It's my own deck. I should use it more. Why am I not using my own deck? It's kind of funny because I had spent enough time with it to create it, and I had like fun galaxifying everything and like putting in the tiny like gold speckles for stars when I felt like it was important, because those are the highlights. like the heart area and in the cup for the Queen of Cups and stuff like that. So why am I not using my own deck? Please do it, sir, because I have no idea.
You spent so much time creating it, you're tired of it. Come back to it in a while.
Yeah, maybe I should do that. Yeah, because I like this deck. Like, if I'm not liking it, then who else is supposed to like it? Like, look at that. There's 9 cups. And again, with the emotions, yay. So yeah, whoops. Oh, I'm gonna just, and it's I can't even remember. It was the Eco on MPC, the Eco cardstock, which is supposed to be eco-friendly, but do you believe in that?
No, I got that. I used the deck I created. I used that too. Herbage or something.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
It's cool. It's cool, but yeah, it's different for sure.
I'm not gonna believe that I'm actually saving the planet by using that one, but
single-handed, Orsi, you're saving us.
Oh yes, obviously that's why I'm here. That's why Aquarius is in Pluto. All my decks is on MPC, and the Zombie Oracle is on Etsy as well. But you can find the links in the description. It's color coded. I put a lot of effort into it. It's not just because I've seen a few Galaxy RWS, but they all use the same background, and they just slapped the images on it. And I went through and I created a whole new background for each of the cards because I felt like creating a new Galaxy for each card. That was the whole point. Okay. Do you still have decks or?
I'm out of decks. It's all on you.
You're out of decks. Okay. The next one. Again, not in the pile of I don't want to keep it. It's just I don't know when to use it because I love this deck, but again, it's the Darkwood. I have so many decks that I like to use that I don't have time to use them all. So I don't know what to do to be able to incorporate these decks into my...
I just found that one so sort of Disney looking.
It kind of is.
It's kind of mass market. One of those.
It became sad because you said that.
And the Llewellyn cardstock, which you know.
Yeah, you hate the cardstock. So I love the cardstock. It's one of the decks that I used to, like I'm 100 years old, read with it during autumnal, like fall-y season, and even Halloween season as well, because it has creepy stuff, and the horror tarot as well because it's by the same illustrator. So I like it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. It's again, I don't know how to pick a few decks to use more when I have wonderful decks in my collection. I struggle with the size of my collection, but I don't want to downsize it. So discuss.
Well, I have, as I said earlier, there are decks that I just don't use to read. I just use to look at the art or, flip through and maybe do a 1-card draw or something like that. So, there are places for things, but I think if you keep pulling it out and saying, well, this is probably cooler than I remember, and you go, yeah, you put it back and you've done that 3 or 4 times, it's like you're never going to circle around to that one. It's just not, I don't know. I was really lucky. I started to put some decks to sell on Facebook. And one person who got in touch with me bought like 4 decks, and she's probably bought about 150 from me. So if I ever need to sell decks, I go to her first.
Nice.
It's like, wow, that's.
I mean, I was lucky. The last time I have like 20 or something decks on sale. One person said that they would like a lot, but they can't afford to buy them all at once. And I was like, we can do it monthly. And for a few months, I just sent her a few decks, and that was perfect for me because I didn't have to go around and find someone else.
Right, because for me, it's sort of like I just need to stop feeling that I've got stuff sitting there I'm not using. Someone ought to use it. There are a few decks. I got it like $300 for a deck once, but most of them are, the ones I pass on tend to be mass market. I sell them for $15. whatever.
Yeah, that's the other thing, that in Hungary it's not even worth selling a mass market deck because people are gonna be like, but I can buy the new one for like, why would I buy a cheap one? Okay, but
Well, I don't know, when it's a $35 deck and you sell it for 15, and you've got
uh,
half a dozen of
yeah,
those, people say I could get 6 of them for the price.
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, in the US there are sales constantly. We don't have sales, but Hay House have big sales and stuff like that. So, but this one, I mean, I like this deck, but I never use it. It's the Botanical Inspiration
Oh,
with a very flourishy.
it's an oracle?
Yes, it's an oracle, and I edged it. I found the perfect blue that matches the backs, and I almost got rid of once. I think it's just perfect. Like I
Yes.
did a stellar job of edging this deck.
Yes.
It has a lot of it has keywords and a quote for each card, and I think the guidebook is actually really makes this deck awesome. But I just don't find myself reaching for it ever. I don't know why, but I started using oracles less and less. But maybe it's just a phase because there was a time, like, I don't know, like 2 years ago, I was using a lot of oracle decks. That's when I got a lot of oracle decks. But these days I'm more into just using my tarot decks and not really using an oracle. So I don't know if I should get rid of something that I might want to use again, but at the same time, I don't know.
It's pretty, but I
It's
probably just bought a
pretty.
really nice big book of floral
Yeah, illustration, right?
with those kinds of illustrations. If it's not that useful as a deck, but it's pretty.
I mean, it's pretty, but I don't know enough about flowers, so
Yeah.
I don't know which one is what. Yeah, it says which one is what, but
Yeah, I don't know anything
I don't
about
connect
flowers.
bellflower with gratitude, for example. I don't have that knowledge of
Right.
connecting flowers with.
And if you have to look up each and every card to see what it
Yes.
really is, it's like that's pretty, but what what do we get from it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is that because I have a bunch of decks, I'm not never gonna learn the meanings by heart because I'm just gonna forget by the next time I pull this deck out. So this might go into a pile because I was thinking that how I need to look at it is if this deck would disappear from my shelf, would I even remember if it was there?
And I think there's something between I'm going to learn from this deck and I struggle every time I use it,
I remembered. Oh my god.
but if you're going to learn from it, it challenges you so that you're going to learn about flowers if you really want to learn about flowers.
Yeah, but
But if you don't really want to learn about that, or it just makes you struggle to try and figure out what that flower means, and it's tiring, it's not educational, then there's kind of a divide there. There are some decks that you learn from because you want to learn about crystals or whatever it is. But anyway, that's.
yeah, I mean, I do a daily pool, but I use what is it called? Did I put the box? I can't remember anything today. That's not the mystical medley. That's what I'm using for the daily pool. And I made a choice of, but that's a good idea. But what I'm doing for the daily pool is just pull a card that can help me, like in some way, or give me advice for the day. I don't do how is my day gonna be type of readings for daily because it's just, I don't know, I don't think it works.
Well, I
But
think when I first got
I
into
don't want
tarot, one of the reasons I got into tarot was I tend to be a little more of a type A personality and busy in my head all the time, thinking, and working and that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, I could learn how these cards and then look at a spread of cards and quietly kind of think about my day. Well, I wonder what that could mean, because I don't slow down to meditate or anything. So I thought it would sort of give me something to say,
to pose about.
what could that mean? How could that relate to the meeting I'm going to, or this or that, just to kind of not rush through things. I don't know if it does that for me.
The idea was there.
That would be
Yeah,
ideal.
and what I did was previously for daily draws that I took them seriously, and I journaled at the end of the day how it reflected, how it showed up. I don't have the time to do that, and I don't want to take it too seriously. So what I do is just I pull a card, I make a note, and when certain things come up, I will remember that. What was my daily card? Oh, it was the Eight of Wands. Okay, I remember why. But I
Well,
don't make more. I don't make notes because I was starting to pressure myself about it. You know, like, oh, I didn't have time. I didn't sit down. Didn't make notes. I'm gonna forget it. Blah blah blah. So I don't even. I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was Dawn Michelle who said it, that she does some sort of journaling, but not really, or not even journaling. Just sitting down at the couch, shuffling some cards, looking at them, think about them, but let them go.
I
Because
think it's
so
kind of like,
that's what I'm doing with my dailies.
I
Not
kind
really
of
taking them too
think of
seriously.
it like a fortune cookie at a Chinese restaurant. You look at the fortune, and it's like it doesn't determine your fate. It doesn't worry you. You just
Mhm.
think, huh, yeah, maybe I will meet a tall, dark, handsome man today, or maybe I will, or short,
That's
lovely woman, you know.
I don't say no to something like that
But
unless
just making
there
you
are
think.
some, like, I don't want to necessarily meet the devil. But I have the Antique Anatomy because that's one of the decks that was released in Hungarian, so I have the Hungarian edition, and yes, they pair well, but that's another deck that I'm only keeping because I have the Hungarian version. I do not use that deck. It's beautiful, but I don't connect with the art because it's too pippish for me in a way. Maybe I can grab it. Can I grab it?
But yeah, I think people stressing about how many decks they have. Do they have too many? Do they use them enough?
Yeah.
Should I have that deck? It's like, it's kind of for fun, isn't it? Not, it's to enjoy,
Should be, but also
Yeah.
we do serious work with tarot.
Oh, yeah, yeah, but you shouldn't, it shouldn't be surrounded by serious stress.
Yeah. So if you look at it, it's the Seven of Swords. It's pretty, but I don't get Seven of Swords from, like, it's, I don't have the meaning necessarily
I'd
for.
rather have a pip deck, where it didn't try to make some images for me,
I think it's just
if
it's
that's what
just.
I was into.
Oh, I can show you a card you will absolutely hate then. Is the Lovers with an Anatomical Heart.
Anatomical heart. Thanks, Orsi. That makes my day.
But Two of Cups, the Two of Elixirs, it's nothing. It's just two bottles, and
Yeah.
the majors are better. Like, here's the Hermit, but still, I like this Two of Pentacles because I like the two color combination, but I don't get the balance from it. Like in the Shadowland with the balancing mummy, you can get the meaning of the card. With this is just pretty, and I'm not saying it's not pretty, but for me, it's not really. I don't know. It doesn't give me enough. It's too peevish for me in a way that I'm not good with peevish decks. So I'm only keeping this one because it's Hungarian, but I don't think I will use it a lot because yeah, it's heartbreak. Ha ha ha. The deck is like, oh, I'm all so sad. I'm very not using me. Life is hard, dear deck. Life is hard. uh, I mean, I don't do readings a lot these days. So when I do, I make notes, because if I sit down and actually do a spread or do a reading for myself, it's because I really have a serious a question or issue. But yeah, I try.
When I first looked at journaling, I was like, well, that'll be fun. That'll be creative. And then every time I tried it, it looked so horrible.
I
Pretty.
mean,
And I can't think what to say. And, I think I used it most at the beginning to sort of make notes about each card as I was learning them. So I'd have like a page and I'd start building a page for
yeah,
each
but I
card.
think it's
That was a
at the
learning
beginning. At the beginning, I think it's very useful, but how I cheat the journaling part, so that this is my weekly entries, because all I do is I fucking make a montage, like collage, montage,
pretty.
whatever.
Yeah.
And now it looks like I'm journaling, but all I do is just slap stickers on a paper, and it's like, oh, it's pretty. You made an effort. I actually
Hey,
not really
appearance
made
is
one song.
everything, you know.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a video for me. Yeah, going through my whole like journal and showing the pages that I did for. Like I said, I'm doing weekly readings since like with actual readings. Oh, I'm better than I thought. Since February, actually. Go me. That's almost a
Oh,
year.
you. Yeah.
I'm surprised that I stuck with it. Stuck with it. Words. But yeah, so just reading. Well, something has a witchy feeling.
Seeing comments, but
I think it's the anti-canonical has the witchy feeling for the end. I think. Oh, Tarot of Oneness seems like a good one, but that's also the Tarot of Oneness is the one where you can placing yourself into the cards.
right,
Like
right.
that's I have the spacious tarot for that, so I don't think that's not something that I really enjoy using. I don't want to be in the scene. I want to be objectively far away from it, so I can be. I need to have some distance with the problem. But I know that for a lot of people it really helps, because if they can be in the situation, they have better understanding. But I think my mind works better if I'm like
But
far
you
away
know,
from
you
it.
said earlier you don't like, was it you don't like a lot of people in decks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that the thing that those decks do is remove the person. I don't need to see the image of the person. It's all the stuff going on around them. It's the context. So and it also makes you think about it in a little different way, which I like from decks. But I don't have to sort of project myself into it as it's me.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't. When I pull a card, when I see a scene, I don't imagine myself in that scene. I'm just looking at like, okay, what does it tell me? So I read better if there's a clear distance between the reading and me. So I know that a lot of people read in a way that they put themselves in that situation. So what I would do if I were in that scene, but for me it works better if I just think about it from
Yeah.
very far away, as
Well,
far away as possible.
you know, it's interesting, like Oak, Ash, and Thorn, which I got in the first Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and I passed on, or I'm sorry, Orsi. It just
I know.
it wasn't just faces, it was just animals. There's another deer, there's another deer, and I'm going to have to
It's
try and figure out how this deer relates to something. I just got the new one, though, the Heartwood Tarot, because
same.
it has context. It has the house, it has
The
objects,
house, yeah.
it has things the animals interact with, and it has a lot of different kinds of animals instead of like, 12 deer and 12 foxes, whatever. And that made a difference for me. Just like we were saying with the deck that just had faces of fairies.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything else going on. So, in terms of interacting with the card, I need to see all that other stuff too. So.
Yeah, that's yeah. This is something that I need. If I could find it with the antique anatomy, like context for it, maybe that would work better. But right now, I just feel like, oh, let's like look at these as ones and slap some. Again, could be that the flowers are the meaning.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about flowers, so it could be that this is a very cleverly done deck,
Right.
where flowers are giving you immediately messages. But I'm stupid I just like the flowers because they're pretty. I don't want flowers. It could be the exact reason. So, which is kind of funny because the one deck that I one day will, I'm not even say finished because I only have a few cards and I haven't touched it. Okay, 2 days ago I was playing with the death card, but 2 years prior I was, not doing anything. It wants to be a collage deck, and I want to add. The deck wants to be a collage deck. It's not me. I want to add flowers to each card, and I specifically want to pick a flower for each card that has an added meaning, and so it's I will have to learn the flowers at some point. So yeah, but I know that I googled the language, the secret languages of flowers and whatever, and it's a very complex thing. So, but yeah, it's hard, but if anybody has context for the antique anatomy, for example, something like the Heartwood has, it would be awesome, because again, I think it's a beautiful deck. I really enjoy the way it looks.
So enjoy.
But if I can't do a good reading with it, then what's the point?
Then,
like, for example,
wrong with it.
I have issues for, like, I want my decks to be like, this is the meaning, not like this is the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands means this and this and this.
Well, I kind of make a jump. It's like I either want to really be able to visualize the scene, or like really abstract, so that I know the meaning of Three of Wands, and it's not so much baggage in the picture that I have to figure out how it does that. It's just a nice picture that goes along with.
But
in between, where I have to struggle and say, well, I know they're trying to say the meaning, and I have to figure out how they're saying it, and then it's like, that drives me a little crazy.
Yeah, because I don't mind if it's a different interpretation, but I need more than just to do like hearts on top of each other. Because if one would be the brain, for example, brain and heart, that would be perfect for the Two of Pentacles, because you have to juggle between your logic and your feelings, and that's a struggle, and that needs to be balanced. I understand that, but for me this is just pretty, and pretty is not enough.
But that's why there are so many decks on so many topics. I mean, there's a deck on knitting, there's a deck on flowers, there's a deck on crystals. If you're not into knitting, then don't buy that deck.
Yeah, but I really want to like this one.
But it's pretty. I know, it's pretty.
Okay, juggling to see. I need explanations like that. I was not thinking about that, because I don't know. See, I need help with decks like this. But that's a good observation about that. And I know, the solution could be that I should sit down and study the deck and make notes and blah 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 blah. Who has time? I will have exams. I don't have time.
Then don't.
I want everything to be easy. That's why I'm into spirituality, because I want everything to be easy.
I'll put in an order with Amazon to deliver that to you. Everything easy.
Oh, thank you. I will really appreciate it. Amazon doesn't like directly ship to Hungary, Probably not that.
Yeah, we don't go to those kinds of countries where everything shouldn't be easy. Anyway.
Yeah, let's not go back to where we started.
No, we started on politics, and you guys just don't want to know.
Yeah, and we already, oh my god, we already passed. Orsi needs an easy button. Orsi needs some medication, probably. Or maybe some, I need I don't know, happy things. So I kind of want to close up with a card pool, but should I? I'm kind of worried. But let's do the Shadowland. Let's pull a card for. Let's see what should be the reason for a card pool, because I don't want to be like, give us a message, because it's gonna be like the Ten of Swords. So
how do we approach the holiday season?
Okay, let's do that.
Whatever holidays you have.
Yeah, some advice, something that we can all use to make everything better. Let's frame it like that, because I don't want
in winter, the winter season.
Okay, why do you hate me so? You know what? I'm gonna interpret it in a way that it's not negative, because it's the Five of fucking Pentacles.
Oh fuck!
I know, but I find the solution already. The meaning is, don't stay outside. Don't just look at other people's having fun. Join in. Go cross that river, go join the people who are actually look at the bonfire, having really nice time. They are eating fun stuff. I'm not saying yummy because it's the Shadowlands, so it's probably just fun. Don't be the ape on the other side of the river. Join in the fun. That's gonna
Well,
be the meaning for this, okay?
maybe it also says that, stop spending your money to buy things to make you happy and go to people. Let people make you feel happier. Join
Yes,
in.
yes, exactly.
Because why do you want to go broke,
I don't want to. 7 of Wands. Okay, I'm not gonna look at other cards. No, we found the positive, and I love this Five of Pentacles. I think it's a really cool one because it gives you a solution as well. Just don't just look at other people having fun. Join.
Right.
Don't be the gorilla on the side of the river. So yeah, don't turn over there and rip their arm off. Yes, that's good advice. Just join in, not don't hurt the other, like the people. But don't isolate, and don't just feel sorry for yourself that, oh, I'm sitting here all alone when other people are having fun.
It
You
could
don't know
be.
if you're not welcome.
It could be if you're hungry, cross the river and eat the people.
That was not me. That was Nancy. Okay, it's her advice. It's her interpretation.
It's never going to have me on
I
again.
was trying to be nice. And look, and we have the sun as well. Okay, so let's not eat other people. But yeah, I think we should stop because I don't know. Like I said, I'm not expecting a lot from these streams in terms of I'm gonna have a pile of decks that I don't want to keep. I don't even know if I expect there's gonna be decks, but you can talk me into keeping, for example, the botanical inspiration. But I don't even know. Should I keep it? Should I not? And don't run away when
Yes, Donna.
you see lonely girl. I'm not sure about that. If you can you run off like a gorilla, or is it faster always and you're
We're
gonna
getting away
die?
from the meaning of Five of Pentacles. And we're getting
let's try to finish with some positivity. So don't isolate, join the fun. Let's just go back there.
Well, my positive, Orsi, is that you're a lovely person. It's delightful to have you as a tarot friend, and I thank you for having me on.
And I'm so glad that we finally did this, because I know I invited you over for like 2 years ago or something, but it was timing. But I was waiting for this because this was wonderful, and otherwise it would have been boring if I sit here alone. So everybody just won by you being here. So yeah, thank you everyone who joined. You're absolutely lovely people, because I don't really do live streams a lot anymore. I can't promise there's gonna be one this year, like I said, because exams and stuff, but who knows, maybe there's gonna be but yeah, thank you so much everyone. Thank you, Nancy, again for joining me.
Guys.
And let's do the awkward waving until the stream ends.